So I have a predicament in which somebody in person uh, went as far as to say that Michael Jordan did not face sufficient competition. That all of the teams that Jordan played were scrubs and that he didn't play hard enough competition. And here I am out here going on a rage because that's simply untrue. Michael Jordan, in fact, did play a butt ton of competition. In 1984-85, Michael Jordan played in the first round versus the Milwaukee Bucks, who were 59 and 23, the second in the East that year, and lost 1-3. Of course, in the first round during those eras, the first round only was a best of 5 games. Uh, and Terry Cummings that year made the All Star team, made All NBA second team, and was really the only good player on that Bucks team. Of course, the following year in the first round, Michael Jordan would go 0-3 to the 67 win Boston Celtics, who that year had league MVP Larry Bird, who made the All Star team, made All NBA first team, and made Finals MVP. Sixth Man of the Year Bill Walton, All Star Kevin McHale, who also made the All Defensive first team. Who else made the All Defense team? Not first team, was second team. Dennis Johnson made All Defense second team. Robert Parrish was an All Star. The team had 5 Hall of Famers on it, 3 All Stars, 2 All Defense, 1 All NBA, and of course Larry Bird led the team in points, rebounds, and assists. And then the following year in 86-87 in the first round, 0-3 again versus the 59-23 Boston Celtics. Still first in the East. Larry Bird was an All Star. Larry Bird was All NBA first team. Dennis Johnson was All Defense first team. Kevin McHale was an All Star, as well as All NBA first team and first team defense. Uh, Robert Parrish was an All Star. Again, 3 All Stars, 3 All NBA, 1 All Defense. And Larry Bird again led the team in points and assists, not rebounds this time, but still a pretty stacked team, even though it wasn't as necessarily as good as the 67 win team. The next year in the first round, in 1987-88, uh, Michael Jordan finally won a playoff series against the 42-40 Cleveland Cavaliers, whose only good player was Brad Daugherty? Brad Daugherty, who made the All Star team that year and led the team in points and rebounds. And it still took them all 5 games just to get out of the first round. In the second round, they fell 1-4 to the Detroit Pistons, who were 54 wins that season, second in the East, had All Star Isaiah Thomas and 3 Hall of Famers on that team. Yet nobody else made the All Star team, and nobody at all made any All NBA designations or All NBA defense designations. And then the next year in 88-89, in the first round, again, the Cleveland Cavaliers, again, Brad Daugherty was an All Star. So was Mark Price. Mark Price was actually the better player on the team that year, making an All NBA third team designation, while Daugherty was just an All Star. 2 All Stars, 1 All NBA on the same team. Still took the Bulls to 5 games. In the second round, he faced Patrick Ewing and the New York Knicks, who were 52-30. Forgot to mention, Cleveland Cavaliers were actually 57-27 that year. Yet for some reason, this page shows that the Cleveland Cavaliers were third in the East, despite the fact that they had the better record. Someone better explain that to me because I don't get it. Uh, in the second round, Jordan beat the New York Knicks 4-2. Even though Patrick Ewing was an All Star, Patrick Ewing's obviously a Hall of Famer. He was also All NBA second team and All Defense second team, and Mark Jackson was an All Star that year. So 2 All Stars, a Hall of Famer, and Michael Jordan still beat them, even though he had 0 All Stars on his own team. He was the only All Star. As a matter of fact, in 88-89, he was Defensive Player of the Year, and League MVP. So wrap your head around that. In 88-89 conference finals, it was 2-4, losing to the 63-19 Detroit Pistons. All-star Isaiah Thomas. Uh, Dennis Rodman had an all-defensive first-team designation. Bill Laimbeer had an all-defensive first-team designation. Uh, and Joe Dumars was final and Joe Dumars was final and Joe Dumars was Finals MVP that year. So they lost to a 60-win team with two All-Defense designated players and three Hall of Famers. And then the following season in 1989 to 1990, in the 1990 playoffs, in the first round, they beat the Milwaukee Bucks, who no longer had Terry Cummings, and they were just 44-38, the sixth in the East. But they did have Alvin Robertson, who was all defensive second team that year. They still gentlemen swept them, if you can even call it that. Uh, and in the second round, they faced the 53-29 Philadelphia 76ers, who were second in the East that year. Charles Barkley was an All-Star and All NBA first team, and the Detroit Pistons again beat them. This time it was 3-4, and the Detroit Pistons were 59-23. But this is the year they were actually at their best. Joe Dumars made the All-Star team. Joe Dumars made All-NBA third team. Joe Dumars had an All-Defensive first-team selection. Dennis Rodman was an All-Star. Dennis Rodman was All-Defensive first team, and Dennis Rodman won the Defensive Player of the Year award that year. Isaiah Thomas was an All-Star and Finals MVP. So everybody, all three of their Hall of Famers had something that year. Three All Stars on that team, two All Defense selections, one All NBA defense. Sorry, two All Defense selections, one All NBA selection, three Hall of Famers, and that is just before Jordan's uh, NBA titles. That is before Jordan's NBA titles.